I'm Phil.
Are we both here on time? Are you impressed? I am. Well, lovely to have you all join. I look very short today. You look very little.
Hang on, I can
Plus,
zoom
it's
in,
just
girl.
me. Both. Look how tall I am now.
Now look at
That's
that.
a
Look
miracle
at that.
growth hormone.
I think what it is, there was so much stuff in the office that possibly the table
we move
is
forward,
further
yes.
back.
We've been to an auction because we buy and resell, and we've been to an auction, and the office at the moment is just full. We've got to get it all sorted. We can't move in here. Right, let's have a look who were the first three in. And first one in today was Bonnie Tyler Fan 34. Well done. Second place was Laura Sully's Creations. Well done, Laura. And in third place was Lexi B with Lexi Larks and Crafts. And Rachel Bailey was just pipped to the post. But it's lovely to have everyone in. Sometimes I've got time to keep an eye on the chat, but I only just got here in time myself. So we were almost both not here.
Yes,
So
it was 9 seconds.
Thank you, Ed. Sounds on.
Yeah, 9 seconds on the countdown when I came behind Caroline. So I was just picking up fines and I realised I didn't have my computer. So got that sorted. And now
Right.
I'm just trying to get on screen so that I can see what everybody else is seeing.
Well, I've got to the end of it. I can't see anything pressing. If there's anything important, please let us know again because I've missed it. But it's lovely to have you joining us. Have you noticed, if you're in the UK, how mild it is? Last night I was freezing cold all through the night.
Not tonight.
And then, no, that was the night before last, sorry. And then last night it was really, really foggy. And apparently we're getting this very, very small mild spell. And then it's going downhill badly from there. So tonight I haven't got a scarf on. It's quite a turn up for me in November.
I think what we're noticing with the weather is the
Higher.
the extremities that we can have in a matter of days. Because we've gone from last Sunday was floods.
We had snow first, didn't we?
I
I can't remember. I think
we have had snow at some
then
time.
floods.
We've had snow, floods, and 13 degrees at night, which is crazy when the day previous the highest was 3 degrees during the day. So we're just getting this sort of complete mix of weathers.
Lexi's saying she's got 2 fans on. I'm like that sometimes through the day.
But what we are hoping to
Lovely.
do at some point this week, if I can find a slot in the busy schedule that we've got, is to try visiting one of the local rivers as long as the water has subsided enough, because some of the footage we got, we had to drive to Newport last Sunday morning, and we set off and it was just crazy because we've never seen anything like it in this part of the valleys where cars were submerged up to their windscreens and abandoned.
A number of times we just had to give up. We just couldn't go the way we wanted to. Tried another route and then we had to give up because the roads were closed and there were cars. Halfway up the car was water. It was awful.
Well, we drove up one road for about 2.5 miles, and then when we could see the junction. Up on the rise, you could see the roundabout in front of us. We were 100 yards away, and the only thing to do was a 3-point turn and double back down and find a route around. And the route around, very often, instead of using a major A road or even the dual carriageway, we were using back lanes.
Yeah.
Because some of the lanes that had been there for hundreds of years, the original roadways, were doing better. They were in a bad way. There was rivers running across them. But because they were perched higher up on the hillside, we were managing to get through. So that was amazing. And I've got some footage of that on my phone. So if we do manage to get a film done locally on a river following the floods, if we can get some finds, then I'll try and include that footage as well to show a little bit of our journey as we travel.
Yeah. Now I got a few different comments coming in. Sharon's been shoveling snow. Bonnie Tyler Fan is freezing and below midnight. Drop in with Mike Sage. Hello, Lynn. Let's have a look. Meryl said, just wondering where the term ding comes from. I say chip. I have no idea. We just always know it's been dinged.
Yeah.
And if you have a car crash, you say, oops, it's been dinged.
Yeah, it's very often with regards to cars. You dinged my car. You dinged my mirror. So where ding came from, we will have to find out. Somebody have a little Google check
Yes, let
and
us
find
know.
out.
Ed said seasons be like winter, spring, summer, winter, autumn, spring, winter, winter. Yes, definitely, Ed. Lexi saw a picture on Facebook of a frozen waterfall in Iceland. -10 there. That's not funny, is it? And Yes, Mike had seen a picture of the flood and it was pretty awful, but it's okay now. So we haven't seen any floods the last day or so. Hello, Kate and Oliver, if you're there. There we go. I think that's everything covered, so I think we should start with the questions.
Do you? I better find the questions then.
Okie dokie.
Right, you go on then. I got them.
Sorry, I'm on Phil's computer and the buttons don't work properly. Too many snacks when he's typing.
I can't help it. I get hungry. One of the features of this week's video were the inks that were left behind. This is one of my favourite inks that I've brought to show you tonight. I just love this one because of the colour on it and the bubbles and everything. So that's probably my idea of an absolute classic.
It always reminds me of an underwater scene when they're that green with all those bubbles.
Yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous, that is. But my question is with regards to the inks, but not all of the inks, but specifically those that were arranged on the log, on the fallen tree. And the question is, how many inks were on that fallen tree? Was it A, 5, B, 7, or C, 9?
Go!
Okay, so Caroline commented on the inks on the log and we counted them, and I'm wondering if you can recall how many were there. Was it, had the bottle diggers left 5 inks on the top? That would be A. 7 inks on the top? That would be B. Or 9 links? That would be C. What are you thinking?
Right, Laura says, me and my mum have been wrapping up as we're both full of the cold. Oh, hope you're both feeling better soon. Not very nice. And let's have a look what else we got here. Oh yes, is it Oliver's birthday today? I wasn't sure if it was today or not. And somebody said happy birthday, so that could be, I can say posthumous, not what's the word for afterward? Belated. There could be belated, but I just wondered if it was today. I'm sure Mankey will want to send Oliver a kiss if it's today. I bet Mankey will want to send Oliver a kiss anyway, because he just loves kissing people. He's a very friendly panda. Oh, it's been a long day. It really has. I'm ready for bed already. Right then.
Well, we've got lots and lots of answers in, and we have got a variety in as much as A's, C's and B's have appeared. And the reason I say A's, C's and B's is because one of the first answers was A, one of the second answers was C, and fourth answer was B, but it is that fourth answer that is correct, because B is the number we're looking for, number 7. There were 7. Now, we picked up 2 immediately from the floor and then put them on. So that would have taken us up to 9. But on the branch, on the log, when we arrived and counted them, we counted 7. So, looking for a B. First B is with Rachel Bailey. You get gold, Rachel. Well done. Mike Sage, you're the second B.
Well done, Mike.
And then Ed Creative has got the 3rd place.
Well done, Ed.
But in fairness, Ed, you were ahead of a long queue, because Ian Davis had B, Phyllis Williams had 7, Bonnie Tyler had B, Meryl Reese had 7, Sharon Paget had B, Lynn Bean had B. So that was 7 sevens in a row. But top of the pack was Ed. So he gets the podium there for the bronze.
Right, Mankey's very excited. He's driving me bananas. He keeps shouting, can I send Oliver a kiss? Can I send Oliver a kiss? So, Oliver, if you're there, and if you're watching this afterwards, if you're not there, then Mankey's going to give you a birthday kiss. And if anybody else wants to share it, pack it up. In comes Mankey. There you go. You're going to sit down quietly now.
Double digits. 10 today.
Oh, wow. 10 years old.
Yeah, a whole 2 years since he went mudlarking with ourselves.
Yes.
That was his 8th birthday.
Yes, and you've grown a lot since then as well, Oliver.
I'll tell you what, where has that 2 years gone, huh?
Oh, scary how time goes.
Time is just whistling by, as they say.
Right then, what are we going to do next?
Have a look at a find. Shall we have a look at a find? You got a find?
Okay, I'll show you my find, which is Welsh
that's very
costumes.
nice.
And I know it's Welsh costumes because it says on there, Welsh costumes. You can see the Welsh hats there. I used to dress up like that when I was in school on St David's Day. All the boys used to dress up. Well, they didn't dress up in my days. They just used to wear a big leek on their collar here. Nowadays, they dress up as knights or miners, things like that. But in my days, the boys just used to pin a leek to their jumper, and then all through the day, they'd be nibbling on their leeks, and we'd be like, you smell. And then on the other side as well, you've got... Now, this says Welsh costumes, but it doesn't half look like some of those ladies there. I've never seen... Oh, I can see now. I thought they had hats with plumes on, but no, they're balancing their wares on their head to carry them around. Looks like wool, actually. So I wonder if maybe they're taking this to the weavers, or they were going to take it home, well, to the spinners, or they were going to spin it themselves. And there they must be coming out to church. So look at that. Must have been somebody on holidays in Wales and went back to Yorkshire with their mag saying, oh, look, I've been to Wales. And now he's come back to Wales. So
with a bit missing.
With a bit missing. Yes, that bit is staying in Yorkshire for posterity.
Somewhere. Probably underground. Yes. So...
do you have a find?
Do I have a find? Yes, I do indeed. I do have a find. Indeed, I do. Let me show you my find. Look at this. That's cleaned up quite nicely, isn't it? Now, I believe it was Lexi yesterday who showed, as I said in the comments, as somewhat of a single-tracked mind, because she said, oh, it reminds me of Cadbury's chocolate fingers all tied together.
Or Tunnock's wafers, because there's a bit of texture.
Or it reminded me, when Lexi said that, of the saying, you're about as much use as a chocolate teapot. That used to be the saying, wasn't it? You're as much use as a chocolate teapot. Mirrored on both sides. You've got bows that side
I've
as
never
well.
seen one like that. I think it's really pretty.
And this is all done in that sort of texture. And then the front here is almost like bark or something on the actual spout.
I'm wondering, because it's tall and thin, do you think that was... I know it's not as tall and thin as a traditional chocolate pot or coffee pot, but I'm wondering if it was for chocolate or coffee rather than tea, because of the shape. It's not a traditional... Our teapots usually short and stout, as the rhyme says.
And generally roundish, aren't they?
So it
that
could
would
be.
tapers in more. So, as I say, what do you think, folks? But bit of a nibble on there and no handle on the back, but I thought still worth bringing back home with us on this occasion. So there it be. One teapot. Where would I be without my teapot, sir? Where would I be?
Meryl was saying we used to eat the boys' leeks in primary school in the 70s. The leek was an exotic veg in those days. Oh, it was, wasn't it? Even if my mum cooked stew, it was with onions, not with leeks.
Oh.
Nowadays, I don't like stew with onions anymore. I'm spoiled now.
We got used to leeks, yeah, because they're
more flavour.
And you started growing them, didn't you? When we had our first allotment, you grew leeks, and with us, that meant we could go pick our own.
They have been really popular, really easy to grow in Wales ever since I first planted them, decades ago. And the last 2 years, my leek crop has failed.
The weather is changing.
It's not right for leeks anymore.
Mind you, it's just as well. I was thinking tonight to ask a question based on that mug and saying, while the national flower is a daffodil, what is the national vegetable? But I'm glad I didn't, because it's been mentioned about 40 times. But as it is, no, you're okay. I didn't use that question. I must have had a premonition that you'd blow it and give them all the answers. See? But yeah, leeks is, as well as daffodils, are so I wonder how many countries have got a national vegetable.
I don't know. You'd imagine with France it's either garlic or onion.
But I don't know if they actually would wear a vegetable as part of a celebration of their Saint's Day.
Oh, I'm wearing a cabbage today to celebrate
all the girls
my
wearing daffodils and all the boys wearing leeks.
Potato.
But as you say, it was very much a staple part of the diet. It's probably leek and potato
Oh, hello,
soup.
Linda.
So there we go.
Oh, Ed was saying we weren't posh. We had leeks made from green felt and strands of white wool. Now, we thought they were the posh ones because there were only 2 boys in our class who could afford those. Everybody else had to go over to the Co-op across the road and pick one up from there. But did you ever, the posh kids with the pre-made
The felt
ones?
one.
Very nice they were.
Yes.
And they didn't smell.
Yeah, felt one with a pin on. I
And-
remember that.
I remember one boy came once and he just got this leek. It must have been out of his dad's garden, and usually you trim the tops off, and they hadn't trimmed the tops off. It was huge. It was like this. And he was only little anyway. It was sticking over his shoulder. It was massive. I'm surprised he wasn't walking like this. I reckon his dad was showing off.
Oh dear. Don't take. Anne's taking her message back, but it's too late. I saw that awful joke.
Oh, what was it?
Caroline leaked the answer.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah, I tell you, Ed, you want to watch it? Anne's after your title for corny jokes. She really is. There we go.
Right, let's have another question.
Go on then. Okay, I will ask you a question about a broken mug, but not that broken mug.
Oh, my broken mug isn't good enough, is it?
No, you found this broken mug. You found all the broken mugs. You found that one, you found the lion, and you found the one with Gordon on it. And I'm going to ask a question about the mug that had Gordon on it. Because having done some research, I would say that the broken mug would have originally shown two 19th century army officers, one on either side. That's my theory. Because it said Wolsey and then it said Captain Morgan. But Field Marshal Wolsey and Captain Morgan were two military heroes of the late 1800s who served at the same time, and Field Marshal Wolsey went out to Khartoum to replace Captain Gordon. So they were contemporaries in the military at the latter end of the 19th century.
Right.
So I believe they were both on there. And they shared many things in common. As I said, including the time they spent at Khartoum. But they also shared their final resting place. However,
No, I thought that was a question coming up.
Captain Gordon was originally buried in Khartoum where he was killed.
Right.
Then brought back to Britain in 1956.
Gone about a bit, didn't he?
Some 60 years later, 70 years later, and was then buried in the same place as Field Marshal Wolsey.
Right.
So the question is, in which cathedral were they buried? They're both buried in a great British cathedral.
Go on then, give us some names.
Which one? A, Westminster Cathedral, B, St Paul's Cathedral, or C, Canterbury Cathedral?
Go!
So which do you think? So the one was buried with honours there in the cathedral. The other was buried where he died, but then brought back decades later and buried in the same place as Field Marshal Wolsey.
Right.
They are both resting in either A, Westminster Cathedral, B, St Paul's Cathedral, or C, Canterbury Cathedral. What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Well, I thought, because the answer coming in now, I thought C. Because I thought it was not going to be a London one. And then I thought, no, on the other hand, Westminster's better. Sounds grander for the first one to be put in there. So they just put the second one in there. So I went for A, and I noticed most people are saying B. So I don't think that bodes well.
Yeah, I've got to give it to you. For somebody who was trying to get a correct answer, by a process of elimination, you would have got there eventually.
Let's see.
Because it wasn't C and it wasn't A, but
That'd
it
be
was B, which is the only one you didn't guess. Now,
I'm trying not to make anybody else worry that they get the answers wrong all the time, you see.
quite right. But the first answer in was A. The second answer in was C. The third answer in was A. The fourth answer in
I
was
have to
A.
interrupt you a minute. Oh, Oliver, thank you ever so much. We got a coffee donation from Oliver. Oh, thank you, Oliver. Oh, that's really kind
you
of
are
you.
such a
and
lovely
we do
guy.
appreciate you. Thank you ever so much for your kindness. You're a lovely lad.
We can tell we're a lovely lad. Oliver is. giving away his money on
his birthday.
On his
Yeah, that's so
birthday.
kind
He's
and
sharing his
thoughtful.
birthday money
Thank
with
you,
us.
Oliver.
I keep telling everybody you are a fantastic young man, and you absolutely are. Thank you so much. There we go. And you interrupted me trying to give the answer.
Always
So
a
there we
bonus
go.
when you interrupt Phil.
So as I say, we've got to come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get the first B,
Right.
which is from Colin Scott. Then we've got to go down CAA. Then we get Beata Heinz with a B. So we've got Colin's got the first
Well
one.
done, Colin.
Beata's got the next one.
Well done, Beata.
Then we've got an A, a C, a C, an A, a C, an A, a C, and I can't see another B.
Ooh.
Until we get to Rachel Bailey, who I think has possibly put it in way after the question that got in
Well
there.
done,
But
you're in there.
let me
So,
check
well done.
now.
Yes, Phil. Oh, let's see.
Colin Scott,
It will be silence just for a couple of seconds.
Beata Heinz,
Right, so wait a minute. Beata, yeah, Colin. I can't see another
and Rachel Bailey.
one. Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
I'm
well
not,
done, Colin. It's Colin's first goal. Congratulations.
well, I'm not surprised that so many people went in the wrong direction. Not at all. Firstly, because Westminster is the one that everybody tends to think of. I'm almost sure that's, if correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Tomb to the Unknown Soldier is in Westminster Cathedral.
Right.
And
Sounds
an awful
right.
lot of the military services are associated with Westminster Cathedral rather than
Isn't
St.
somebody
Paul's.
one of those explorers, Scott or somebody?
Possibly.
there?
But
Didn't
when
we
it
know?
comes to Canterbury, of course, that is the seat of power in the Anglican Church, so that also is seen as a very important church. St. Paul's is a beautiful church and it's associated with a lot of history, but not necessarily thought of immediately. So I'm not surprised we only got the 3 answers, but 3 we got, and they have taken gold,
Yeah, well done, I'm
silver, and
impressed.
bronze. There we go. So you weren't alone, dear.
No, it's good when I'm not alone.
No. In guessing both of the incorrect answers, you've put yourself among the vast
Yes,
majority
everybody
of people,
who was wrong is on my side.
which just goes to show the majority are not always right. There we go. That's our thought of the day. The majority are not always right, because on this
Yep.
occasion, but I'm so glad we had 3 in. So there we go.
I never
We
go
did.
with somebody on the show thinking they must know the answer.
Uh,
Sometimes I know the question, but I don't this week.
except 90% of the time, you can probably go with Steve when it comes to how many times was Mankey in the show.
Oh, yes.
Because he's an expert on monkey spotting. I tell you, if there was a degree in monkey spotting, he'd have a master's.
Right then, so let's have another find. And
Yeah, Rachel's chuffed. She added it after the answer, but really pleased because she's got us up a
that's
board
not
here.
right. It's
There we go.
it's all
And now
tactics.
that is a boot.
Look at
Very
this.
damaged, but enough there to appreciate. Look at this,
So-
folks.
It's got this shoe where the handle
handle.
came, and it's got a lid. And we've been thinking about this.
Can we unscrew it?
Oh, yeah, you take it off. We've been thinking about this, wondering what it is, and Phil, I think, has come up with the right suggestion. There was a time when ladies could go to buy ale from the pub, but they weren't allowed in the bar. They had to go to, I can't remember what they called it now. Do you
It was-
remember?
it was-
Was it
no.
called the ale room or something? There was a little
They
room
went-
at the back, wasn't
They went,
it?
yeah, or in the passage entry, there was a hatch through to the bar, and they could put their
The jug in, get their ale, and then they could take it home with them, but they weren't allowed to stay in the pub. And so that would make sense of this, where it had a handle on.
fill it up, put a pint of ale in there, then screw your lid on to take it home
We
with
won't
you.
put that on just in case. So that's what I think Phil's got a good point. Got a really nice scene on it. I turn around that way. Just wondering now, I don't recognise that building and I can't see anything written on it. And the people down there seem to be in Chinese dress. So I think maybe it's a Chinese interpretation because this is a Chinese type building here, a pagoda-y thing. But then that in the background doesn't quite seem Chinese, so who knows?
The only thing that detracts from my theory is that this is a posh bit of China. And generally we associate pub drinking for ladies of the sort of late 19th, early 20th century with people who were working class. So I get a feeling if that
Maybe a bit
is,
too posh.
if it is for what we think, then it was probably the maid that took it round to the pub, got it
for
filled up
them,
and
yeah.
brought it back for a lady. But it would definitely work as that. Otherwise, I don't recall seeing something. It's not a jug because there's no lip.
No.
So
So you
it
obviously
is
going
a
to
tankard.
drink directly out of
It is
it.
meant to be drunk out of.
Why make a lid?
And it's got a screw-on lid with number 46 printed in the top, which is probably a
If you've
pattern
seen
number.
the 46 in there.
That's possibly a pattern
If
number.
that's any help to anyone at all.
And there's a 46 stamped on the bottom.
Which, that could, no.
That's to make sure your lid matches your...
Yeah, I thought maybe it was 46, but it wouldn't be centimetres or inches, would it? Not
No,
unless
no.
it was a bath.
But that's what I loved, is the fact that although it's so damaged, if I just get it the right way, this will screw down.
Oh, that's very creaky by the
There we are.
microphone.
Look at the fit on that. Can you imagine when that was... when that was...
Very good. You wouldn't have spilt anything.
No, that was a proper seal on there. That was really a good tight fit on the top. And
Mike's-
still is, even today.
Mike said, could it be for loose leaf tea? The only thing that throws us off there, Mike, is the handle. Why was there a handle on one side? I can see your point. Even
Yeah.
a ginger jar, possibly.
Yeah, jars, because that's what we thought it was. As we approached it, kind of, oh, it's a small ginger jar. And then we got this.
That's why we're baffled. So it could be.
The
Maybe
handle
the word tea
being
went
on
with
there.
handles, but...
That's what is weird,
It's
is to have a
confusing, that.
handle. And a screw-on lid. Because generally, tea caddies and everything else are just a press-on lid. They would have been just pushed on. But this, as I say, you can see it's broken there. But through there, you can see just what a good fit that was. That's a smart bit of kit. And we were so pleased to find it.
Yeah, we didn't really work that hard to find it. It was somebody didn't
Yeah.
want it, so they put it.
It was the
gently
first thing.
down.
It was the first thing we saw. We were thrilled as we
No,
arrived.
Sharon, it doesn't have a spout.
No, there's no spout
Not
at all
Certainly not a jug.
because it's
Put
complete
it over.
except at the back, and obviously the spout wouldn't be by the handle, so that's the front. That's opposite the handle. That's where the spout would have to be, and there isn't one there. So I find that very interesting. But-
Phyllis said for the Queen Mum, could it be? She's posh enough.
But it's nice to have something that little bit unusual. Now, we love finding the regulars. We love finding pipe stems, and we love finding the small bottles and things.
Oh, Laura Sully's Creations. Well done, you interrupted
Oh,
Phil.
thank
you
you.
ever so much. We got a £1 super chat from
Thank you.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
very
That's
kind of you.
really kind, and we
And a
really
heart.
do appreciate it. Oh, yeah, thank you so much. That is kind, and we do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Right, so... I can't remember where we were now. What's the time?
What's the time?
Let's have some happy news.
We're halfway through. Do you want some happy news? You know the idea. Just put a little jingle on and I'll pass you your happy news.
Right, I'm going to try to get right through this without laughing. Of course I'm going to.
Is it short enough here?
We'll find out. See you, little one. 1,000 volunteers help save whales. Whales as in the big things that
I
swim
think
in
that-
the sea,
that
not...
That will become clear when
Yes,
you
but
read the
just
first
before we
line.
start, not Wales as in the country of Wales. After a pod of more than 30 pilot whales stranded themselves on a New Zealand beach, over 1,000 volunteers as well as professionals organised to save them by carrying them back out to sea on sheets. Rescue efforts saw almost all of the pilot whales survive, and Joel, a Department of Conservation spokesperson, said, "It's amazing to witness the genuine care and compassion people have shown towards these magnificent animals. This response demonstrates the deep connection we all share with our marine environment." That would have been quite a sight to have seen 30 pilot whales on the beach, and then they're not like things. For them to carry 30 of them back into the sea, and you couldn't just drop them off at the edge and say, "There you go, lad, off you go." You've got to get them in deep enough so they can swim. So that
They were
is-
saying they used boats as well, because what they did was they were so shallow they had to get the sheets under, then physically lift, because they couldn't handle the whales, then bring them forward so they could attach it to a thing on the boat, so the boat could take them out into the depths and then let them go. And
Can you imagine what the whale was thinking, though? They're on the beach and thinking, "Oh, this isn't good," and then suddenly you've got all these little things poking you and moving you about, and then you're being carried on a boat. Very confusing for the animal.
But it seems in that part of the world this does happen from time to time.
yeah.
And they actually have volunteers. Lots of people volunteer to keep an eye on the beach, and they will call in an alarm call
Oh, right,
to
yeah.
the specialists because they sometimes go off and get caught up, and the current brings them in. But something I thought was interesting, which wasn't in the story yet, because I edited it down for Caroline because she doesn't like long stories because she laughs too much. especially if there's any sad bits in it. So it said most of them survived, but 2 full-size whales and a cub whale didn't make it because if they're there too long, they get traumatized, they can't get back, and of course they need to be in the water to survive. But what was interesting was that they said there was a Maori service then conducted for those that didn't make it, because under their culture and beliefs, they wanted to celebrate the life and the spirit of the magnificent beasts. So they did all that as well. So they held a service, like almost a funeral service, for those that had passed, as well as taking the other side.
Is that a regular thing they do?
Yeah, I don't know. They did it on this occasion, so I would imagine it probably is. But it's part of the belief system and the way in which life is celebrated of all creatures by the indigenous people there. So I thought that was interesting.
Phyllis said Lilliputians. What do you say there? Lilliputians? Lilliputians, I would have thought. Yes, the little people. A bit like Gulliver's Travels. Right, let's have... And we're doing really well on time.
Oh, this is going
Yeah,
mad.
let's have another question halfway through. You with us?
I am.
I looked up there and it feels like...
Yep, I have 2 finds here. I have this pot, and I have this pot.
Gone potty.
And the question is related to the pot. And the reason the question is related to the pot is because I can see something written underneath.
Ooh.
And what I want to know from all of you is that on the underside of this pot, it tells me that it was made by Malin, and it's a 2-pound jar.
Right.
Because it's written underneath. But also in the centre it says where the jar was made. So I'm asking you, was it made in A, Bradford, B, Leeds, or C, Newcastle?
Go! No, I'm not going to try this one because I'm bound to have read that when we were on the...
You read it.
Digs, but so I'm not going to cheat, but I have no idea anyway. I've completely forgotten. But I'm not going for this one.
There we go.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Careful because it might be a drop from when I washed up.
So which number is that one?
That's up there.
Now I know I can knowingly look at all the answers coming in.
And they are coming in thick and fast.
And we got a mixture. We got an A, B, and C, so we're okay.
Oh, and we got some clever people who write the whole word.
But was it worth it? Is it right?
They're going to find out now in a moment. I think all the answers are in.
Yep.
Rightio, let's get right back up to the top. I can tell you, folks. In fact, I can show you so you know I'm telling the truth. There it is. Malin, 2 pounds, Newcastle. So you're looking for Newcastle, which is C. And of course, somebody went to the trouble of writing the word Newcastle.
Yeah, very impressive.
And that somebody was Lexi B, who has taken the gold podium, having written the entire word.
Well done, Lexi.
Followed immediately by Ian Davis, taking silver.
Well done, Ian.
And then, she's there again, Rachel Bailey.
Well done, Rachel.
There we go. So it's Lexi, Ian and Rachel. You've got the first, second and third. Gold,
Excellent.
silver and bronze. Yeah, Newcastle. That's where the Malin pots come from. I thought it was interesting that it had the size. We hadn't seen that before, had we?
No.
Where they had, we've seen a Malin one before, a smaller one. But to see them with the measure on them, that it's a 2-pound pot. That was something new to us. And it's nice when we find things that are different.
Ed said fish get beached when predators chase them, which makes me wonder if there's a big unknown predator that attacks whales. Ooh, perhaps it's the Loch Ness monster.
I was going to say we're going
come out to the loch. They reckon there's an opening to the sea. Has been frightening the whales. We'll have a word with him next time we're in Scotland.
I was thinking that everybody's heading down the Loch Ness route now. The Loch Ness route, but of course, to all our friends in America, a belated. Happy Thanksgiving,
yes.
because
had a great day
obviously
yesterday.
between our last time and today. Oh, and also something we should have done right at the top of the show, but I don't think we did. is apologies for disappearing
Oh, yes, we
quite
did, didn't
suddenly last week. Our internet failed, and by time it reconnected, if on this system, if it drops out for less than sort of 20-30 seconds, it will pick back up. But because it dropped out for a minute, it shut everybody off and sent you all off watching other TV, including me. I said to Karen, I said, we've had it now because it's playing a different video on my... So it assumed the live had been aborted. So sadly, 10 minutes or so before the end, we disappeared.
Yep.
So our apologies for that, everyone. It was a technical problem.
That's right. It was the Gremlins. It wasn't us.
That's right.
We didn't say, oh, that's it, I need a cup of tea. Turn it off.
No, it wasn't our fault. Not at all. Not at all.
Right.
But while we do complain that things go wrong, we are very grateful for the technology we have.
Oh, yes.
That makes it possible.
Right.
Oh, right.
Can I do these without you having a question?
You can indeed, and I've given you those two because obviously you can then illustrate.
Illustrate.
Using two of our inks, you can illustrate what we notice is quite different.
So now I've lost all my shock value now.
Yeah, shocker.
Because you just told everybody the inks.
Yeah.
I'm putting those down. I'm going to show them something else. Of course I'm not being childish. No,
Cheers.
this show... I won't make you any pancakes.
Am I having pancakes?
No.
At 10 o'clock at night, you're going to cook pancakes?
No.
I don't think so.
It's just an idle threat.
I don't think so. No.
Right then, so we got these inks. Now this one, we saw something similar last week with the dents. This one's got two dips in the top for putting your inky thingies in. But this one, so it's very white again. One I showed you last week was very white. And this one's really rough. This one's the same. It's got a lot of white on it, and that's why I think it's just the thickness. But look at where the pen goes in that one.
It's really weird. You'd have to have you're very limited on the size of the pen, isn't you?
Yeah, that doesn't work.
No, that won't hold in
I've
there.
got a pencil, so that's not going to go in. There must be a particular size. On the other hand, if you look at it, it opens, but it doesn't close, if you see what I mean. If I show with my fingers, no, I can't do it.
It's open.
Yeah, see, if it was sort of half like that, there's nothing to see. If it went right around like that, it couldn't fall out. See what I mean? Can't get that out, but this one's open like that, so it doesn't hold it in.
But it's obviously meant to use it that way because the glass is still on the bottom, you know.
Is it?
But it will not hold, no.
No, I mean, this one, I mean, why it
I
would hold
tried that
one.
earlier on, yeah.
No, doesn't work.
You'd have to be a very specific size
would.
pen to go in there. Unless, I'm going to come up with a really clever thought here.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Unless there was a paper label around the ink that went right over there. So then you'd have it
delicate,
enclosed and the ink could just drop in there like that because it drop in behind.
Now,
See, that would make sense.
Ed's come up with a better idea. He says maybe it had a leather casing around it. Now, that would make sense because if you're using ink and you had paper, it could get overly wet.
That's
and then
very expensive way to do it, isn't it?
On the other hand, what's this brown stuff here? Is that a glue? See, there's lots of it.
I'm thinking there was something, cardboard, leather, whatever. There was a label around that would have made that an enclosed space. That's the only way that would work. And then the name of the ink company written on the side. We're going to have to do some research,
We
folks,
are, unless
and
anybody
see if we can
knows.
find that out. But again, I love the fact that look how warped that is on the top. And that was probably like that from the day it was made. It's like as if the top has been squidged in. But yeah, inks are very lovely things.
Now, Steve said, do you still have the monkey count from last week? Don't think you do you?
I think I can remember it, Steve. Why?
How many do you think it was last week, Steve? How many do you think it was, Phil? Let's see if your numbers come together.
I can't remember. Was it last week that there were only two?
I think so, yeah. There
Was
were
it last
many.
week that I
What
think
do you reckon, Steve? How many did you count? Probably 16 now. You're very good at spotting monkey. Oh,
Yeah, and they're saying she's been following us for years and didn't realise that there was very early videos on there.
yes. Oh, I noticed looking at those, we've aged so much.
Haven't
Just
we?
since those first couple
I
of years ago.
I
It's like,
know.
oh,
It looks like watching my little brother or something.
yeah, we were a lot more fit and active then.
Yeah. That's. We're
There
in
we go,
agreement. It'll be interesting to see if we're in agreement tonight when I come up with the answer
Oh.
later on. Well, yeah, I was trying to remember which was last week. Oh, I'm
Jason said
terrible.
1.5. No, I don't think there was any chance it was 1.5. You could have seen 1.5 monkeys who's half hanging out to a pocket.
Yeah. So yeah, I was almost sure it was 2. It's just that, a bit like doing the show now, I'm the same in work. If somebody walks up to me in work, if the funeral director comes up and says, "Phil, you with us on Friday?" and starts talking about the service, and I'm doing a service say on the Tuesday, I say, "I'm sorry, I haven't got a clue. Not a clue. I'm doing this service, and the only thing I can think about, the only names I know, the only things I know is this one." And it's the same man I was thinking, I do know, but I can't be sure, because was that the week that we only had 2 in? And it was.
There we go.
There we go. It was 2, 1 near the beginning, 1 near the end.
But don't think you're getting off that easily, everyone. We're still going to have the monkey question for this week. I know.
Oh, yes. It will be
Controversial
coming.
as
It will be
ever,
coming.
but it will be happening.
But I've got some inks to show you.
Oh, go on then. Show us your inks.
And I'm going to show you an ink from last week and an ink from this week. And I'll tell
It's a
you why.
repeat, like the BBC.
Yeah, I'll tell you why, just so that anyone thinking, because Caroline, when I picked up the ink, thought that it was the one that she'd found on a previous visit. She said, "I found that one over there before." No, Caroline found one over there, and then and again they're all covered in this white
Yeah,
from
strange,
2
yeah.
different locations on the same one. But as you can see, they're identical. Well, as identical as you can get in the Victorian times. That one's a bit more bent than that one. But these are really nice because they were round and pretty. And I don't think we'd found one like this before. I think that was our first one we ever found. And that was our second one we ever found. But folks, it wasn't that they had fallen out of the bag or anything. They are the same. Different companies made them though, it seems. Because on the bottom, it doesn't seem to have the same written on it from what I can see. It looks like it's got a different...
I'm not seeing any writing on my screen.
See, this one's got...
Very I love the swirly whirly pattern.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out what it is though. It looks like emulsion, doesn't it, or something?
Like somebody's painted them. Plus I thought, oh, they're a bit old-fashioned. I'll put some white on them.
Well, perhaps somebody, when they had finished with them, did paint them and used them to
As
put candles
or
in.
something. Yeah, could have been.
Because perhaps they painted the 2 of those white and popped a candle in them and used them on their dressing table because they're pretty enough. That may be what happened.
Could be.
Who knows? Interesting thinking.
Now, Laura said, has anyone got their Christmas decorations up yet? And this look, Phyllis has got hers up. Decorating tomorrow, Anne said. Mike says it is 2 weeks ago. And next week, Kate Millard's doing hers. We're doing ours tomorrow. Well, we're possibly doing ours tomorrow. Got...
Are we doing it tomorrow?
On Monday we're doing it, that's right.
We could do it tomorrow.
We could do.
It's the first.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a green tree, but then we went to the charity shop and found a white one, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I've been putting the white one up, and last year I went to move it slightly because it was just not in the right place.
Snapped the foot.
Snapped the leg off, so Phil tried gluing it, and in the end we had it wedged up. And I'm thinking, I'm probably not going to use that one this year. So I think it'll be back to the green one this year. But I like change every year. I keep all my baubles. And one year I say, oh, let's do it all red and white. And then the next year, oh, let's do it all random, bright jewel colours. Sometimes I'll do it just all, I don't know, I'm trying to think now. Rose, I've got a couple of baubles with roses. So do a red and white theme, that sort of thing. So I don't know what to do this year now. I'm going to wait till all the baubles are down and see what inspiration strikes.
Oh, you're going to get struck by
I
inspiration.
haven't bought brand new Christmas decorations for years.
No, you keep finding them in the charity shop. Caroline likes the vintage ones.
Yeah, they're nice.
They've got a bit more sort of a sense of, you can use those randomly because you tend these days to always buy them in sets of 24. But when you go into a charity shop and they say 10p an item, and you can pick out 10 and you get a little felt Santa and you get little reindeers and things.
Yeah,
it's
because
really
they
nice.
do some lovely glass ones, don't they? We've picked up some very expensive ones.
Yeah, I think Caroline's just been inspired to go and find her latest haul from a charity shop because she's heading over to her studio. But yeah, we tend to decorate at the beginning of December, and then I have to fight like crazy to keep everything up until the 6th of January, because I live with a house full of people who tend to say, Christmas is over now, let's take the decorations down on Boxing Day. I say, no, it's not. It's the 12 days of Christmas. Oh, mentioning the 12 days of Christmas, as you may notice, Panky is wearing a Christmas hat. And that's because Panky has been starring in a Christmas video special, musical special, along with some other characters that will be known to you, I am sure. They are a famous couple who are quite often in the chat with us, who are taking part in this particular extravaganza. It's not with the leader of the Liberal Democrats, and it's nothing to do with Do They Know It's Christmas, but it is a rendition of 12 Days of Christmas, and it is going to be premiered, I think, tomorrow night on Max's channel. I know his dad does the editing, but everyone knows it's owned by the 6-year-old. And that's Ready, Steady, Toe. And I think you've put a link on the Facebook page, haven't you, to let everybody know, is it?
Yeah, there's a post out there.
Yeah, so if you want to see Panky starring in a Christmas video.
She was really nervous. She didn't eat for a full day before she sang.
Along with...
She's even got her special Christmas hat on.
Yeah, I've
she
mentioned.
She did really well. You wait till you see her.
Yeah. So, as I say, I was actually explaining to everyone that I give everyone a lecture on the 12 days of Christmas in this house so that I keep the trimmings up till the 6th of January.
Yes.
Because all of my fellow residents want to take them down on Boxing Day. But I like Christmas, so I keep it going as long as I can. But having mentioned 12 Days of Christmas, it reminded me of Panky, along with another couple of people that you will definitely know. So if you want to find out who they are, check out the video and see who's there. But and a member of the crew as well as Panky is also on there, so you should recognise one or two.
Oh, brilliant! Thank you, Ed. I was just trying to put the link to the channel up, and Ed's put the link up to the. I think it may be the whole video. I mean, Ed's put a link up, so there you go. Thank you, Ed. If you want to check on that.
There you go. And like I said, that
set a reminder, because that way there we can all be in the premiere when it goes up.
Yeah, we're going to be on the premiere on that tomorrow, because at least I am starring in it, Panky's starring in it, and a mystery couple who are quite often in our chat. I don't think they're in tonight, but they're quite often in the chat, and they are starring in this video too, just for a bit of fun. We're not trying...
I beg to differ. I think Ed Sheeran at the moment is quaking in his shoes. He's put a Christmas song out thinking he's going to be number one, but I hate to break it to him, but it's not happening this year. I'm sorry, it's going to be a lot of YouTubers all singing this song. I think we're destined for big things.
There we go. We have difference of opinion. We will see how things lie in the new year.
Oh, Ed doesn't mind. He's had so many number ones. He'd be fine if he lets us get number one this year.
Do you want another question? Because we've got...
okay, well, just a second. I was going to show... I can't find the one I wanted. But if I show... what have I got here? I'll show you a sneak peek of the video coming out tomorrow from my craft channel. And look, I got a bulb that I found in the river. And I just dolled it up with a little bit of bits and pieces, and I got myself a Mudlarkin, whoops, turn around the other way, a Mudlarkin Christmas decoration. So they're fun to make as well. So I thought I'd show you that.
There we go. But that's on Caroline's Craft Channel.
Right.
Okay, should we have a question?
Let's have a question.
We often find bottles, printed on them are the name of the product, which is meant to cure something or other. They were into their cures back in the Victorian times and right through into the 1930s, 40s and 50s. Before we had an NHS, people definitely just went out and bought something that they thought would do the trick. Very often, Grandma swore by something or other. But we came across one on this occasion that I don't think we've seen before, which was Dr. Butterfield's vegetable syrup.
Perhaps it's syrup for vegetables.
It
They're not
could
feeling
be.
very well.
It could be. Well, actually, the question is, what is Dr. Butterfield's vegetable syrup meant to cure? Is it A, cramps, B, coughs, or C, gout?
Or D, vegetables, go!
They'll all go D now, just to wind me up.
Hey, look at a laugh. So what were the three? Sorry, I missed it out because I was
Not telling
being
you.
silly.
Was it to cure A, cramp? Was it B, cough? Or C, gout?
Right.
What do you think Dr. Butterfield's vegetable syrup was meant to cure?
The camera on my computer's just turned itself on. Just worried that we're going to end up with the wrong view. I'll just go get a sticker and stick on it. But carry on without me.
Right. We're carrying on without you. Right then, let's have a look here. Let's see what the answers. Oh, well, we've got A's, B's, and C's, so somebody's going to be right. Ah, right. Okie doke. All right then, folks. While at the top of the list, I would say the most predominant answer seems to be C. The first three answers are actually B. And B is correct because it is cough. I actually covered it.
Yep, that's the light to tell you was on. That was the little hole that for
There you
some
go.
reason.
There you go. Okay, it was coughs, which was B.
I need some.
So the first three answers in were correct. And that's Beata Heinz.
Well done,
You are
Beata.
on gold. Oh, Ian Davis again. You are on silver.
Well done, Ian.
And a revisit from Lexi B.
Well done, Lexi.
Oh, this time is taking the bronze. And then we've got C.
Sailor
cough,
went there,
C.
you know.
So we had quite a lot of C's in. A lot of people going for gout.
Yep.
But
I would have come up with gout.
yeah, well, I tell you what.
Go on then, tell me what.
I tell you what.
Go on then.
I do my happy news.
Go on then, you do your happy news.
Do my happy news. A doorstop provides a community windfall. A town council in Scotland has been given the go-ahead by a local court to sell a marble bust found propping open a garden shed and use the estimated £2.5 million proceeds for the good of the community. The bust was purchased by Invergordon Town Council in 1930 for £5 and depicts the man after whom the town is named, Sir John Gordon.
Another Gordon.
Is it the same Gordon? Ooh, it's not actually. He was from. This is
No,
back.
this
in
was
the,
related to Flash Gordon, isn't he?
yes,
Or
and
Gordon
it's-
the Gopher.
he's
was
from
one.
the 1700s. The other one was 1800s. It disappeared for decades before being found. Used to prop open a door 26 years ago. But its rediscovery and multi-million pound value posed issues for the Island Council. They wanted to put it on display. But the local authority said its value meant securing insurance and security for the item would be very difficult. So it remained securely locked away from public view for most of the time. Although it has been out to be exhibited in the Louvre in Paris in 2016 and at J. Paul Getty Museum in Los Angeles.
Very nice, well travelled.
The town has now pursued the possibility of selling it and the court has agreed. If the sale goes ahead, the money generated from the bust could provide a large boost for the community projects in Invergordon, as much as £125,000 a year for the Common Good Fund, said Councillor Maxine Smith.
Wow. Check your doorstops, everyone, quickly.
But amazing, isn't it? 1930s, fiver. He said, oh, somebody must have thought, and I know £5 was a fair bit of money in the 1930s. It was probably a month's wage for for a labourer, you know, something like that. So we're not talking cheap. But when you then go to 2.5 million,
that's a big jump. That wasn't inflation.
obviously in the 1930s, nobody understood the provenance of the studio in which it was made in Paris, and therefore it didn't have the value it's got today. But it's lovely that they're able to now take it and have got the permission. And because, as they said, what they're going to do, which I think is really clever, they're having a copy made to put on display. But then they're having the 2.5 million in a bank, and then they will take the £125,000 interest every year and will use it for the common good of the people to do projects. So I thought that was good news.
Good morning, Dorothy.
So that was very good news. Very good news indeed.
Yes, right then. How are we doing?
We're doing all right.
Oh, we got 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, we've got a couple of these, haven't we? We've got a couple of these. I think
these,
you've
yeah.
got two, haven't you? There we go. We got all sorts, yeah? Look at that. We don't often find these. Now, each of these has a bit of a crack or something to it, but they're still pretty much whole, which is unusual for us, because when they're in perfect condition, obviously the bottle diggers will take them with them. But these, as far as we're concerned, are as near perfect as they need to be. I think the one you just showed is the only one we're writing on, isn't
Yes,
it?
that's it. Marshall
Marshalls.
Brothers Halifax Imperial Half Pint.
Here we go. And as I say, this one's plain, as is that one. That one's quite crazed. Now I
that
clean
looks
it.
like, yeah, it looks almost like it's been marbled.
Yeah, there's all the cracks in it, that is. But this one's got a crack down the back there, but it's a closed crack. So they're still nice to put on display. So they will either end up in the shed or in someone's box, if anyone orders the boxes. So there we go. Shall we
Dance?
have the last question?
Let's have the last question.
Are you ready, folks?
Try and find the little jingle.
Sharon loves those bottles.
Yeah, good.
There we go.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you ready, folks? You know what's coming. How many times did you see Mankey in this week's video? Go.
Oh, right. No numbers
No,
again.
no,
Oh,
no.
you're making it difficult.
Well, I'm not making it difficult. I'm allowing for the fact that somebody may come up with a correction to my count, because I tell you what, Mankey is getting to be so elusive. There's at least one site in this week that I almost missed.
Yes. Oh, Dorothy was first in with 3 times. Carly's got 1. Boy had for 4, 3, 4, 3, 2. Who's all jumping about? And Ribble's in. Well, Steve. Ooh. Laura Sully's gone big. She said 8. Ian Davis gone small. He had 1. Who's right? How many times do you think, Phil? Oh, we got a discrepancy.
No, we haven't.
Haven't we?
No.
That's there. And that says... Oh,
yes.
Yes. We haven't got a discrepancy. It looks like our official Mankey adjudicator and Phil agree.
Right, then, folks.
Phyllis said what Ribble said.
Well, what Ribble said was 4 times in 3 places. And I've counted the 2 of those and the one in the... Because he also noticed it was in the thumbnail. Yeah, fair play. You can't get one past that guy.
No, you're
But
good.
the official recorded answer is 3:035 behind me in the intro, so in the hole. Because he didn't move, he stayed in one place in the hole. Then the one I almost missed myself, when he was standing among the pots at 1.22, and then the end piece in my pocket. So that's the 3, which means even though having written it out in full, the words 3 times, Dorothy has come in on gold.
Well done, Dorothy.
There we go. That's pretty good going, because I think it was Dorothy who said, oh no, I napped through the live show. Hi, everyone. But I tell you what, you woke up on
better
fire,
late than
Dorothy,
never.
because
You did
you've
it.
got gold. Look at that. Came in the last 2 minutes and took a gold. And then it's Bonnie Tyler fan, 34.
Bonnie Tyler fan.
And you just can't shake this lady off.
Don't tell me, Rachel.
Oh, it's Rachel Bailey
Well
again.
done, Rachel.
Well done, Rachel. That's excellent. Well, thank you, everyone. It is exactly 10 o'clock.
Oh, there we go.
Computer time, 2,200 hours.
Yes, oh, that's
We've
very
never
impressive.
done that before.
No, you won't impressed. We did it early last week. Well, thank you everyone for joining us.
Yes.
Don't forget now, Ready Steady Toe, pop on there and put a notification on to say notify me, and we see you over on the premiere of that tomorrow night. Yes.
What time's it going out? Do you know?
I think it's 8:30. I can't. Lucky I put the notification
UK
on.
time.
I think it's 8:30 UK
Check
time.
it out, and if you're there, we'll see
Yeah,
you
we
there.
say hello to you over there.
And you'll be
So-
able to see young Max, and you'll be able to see myself and Pangy. And can you guess who the mystery couple are? Ooh, you know them. You do. You know them. You know you do.
Right, so we'll see you all next time. Until then, don't forget.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.